Hey everybody, welcome back. Good to see you again. A couple of weeks ago I did a video on a little globe using some little fairy lights, real low power LEDs. We're going to do another project using those again. And again, there'll be links to those lights in the description below. This is a 3D light box. Steve Ramsey from Woodworking for Mere Mortals did this last year or year before, but he used a different lighting system. He used some LEDs that would strobe and change colors, and a little more expensive lighting package than what I'm going to use. So we went a little more economical. So you can check those out. Also, the patterns from the scroll saw scenes, they came from his video and his website. I'll leave links in the description for all of that so you can compare the two. Apologize for the length. It's a little longer than I wanted, but there's things I wanted to cover. So bear with us and you'll see the results in the end. If you like what you see, give us a thumbs up, like our video, share our video, leave us a comment. It really helps our channel a lot. Now, let's see how we make these 3D light boxes.
Well, to get started, first you need your backer pieces. I'm using 1/8 inch hardboard. Two reasons. One, it's already brown, so a lot of these trees and things that you would normally have to paint brown, you don't have to paint. Plus I had it. But I cut mine 9 1/4 by 9 1/4. So whatever size fits you. The plans that you can get from Woodworking for Mere Mortals from Steve Ramsey, I'll put a link in the description below. He gives you 3 sheets. The front, the middle, and the back piece. And cut those out to the size you want. I leave 1 inch around to let it slide into the box. And I'm going to make 2 at a time, so I'm going to gang them. I'm going to put 2 together, I'm going to tape them, and we can make 2 at a time that way. Now to do that, you see the outside frame here, that's where I'm going to attach the 2 pieces. Just going to put a piece of double-sided tape on each side. Okay, I've applied a light even coat of spray adhesive to the back, and I'm just going to attach it. I'm using this 3/16 hardboard for the 3 layers, so it's just a pass over my saw blade. And I make so many of these, I've got a model set up where this is my first spacing, that's my second spacing, and then this one will be my third spacing. So I just set it up to my model. That will be my first cut. And then my last cut is to cut the rabbet that will house the back of the unit. And again, I'm using my model. Setup block, setup gauge, whatever you want to call it. If you're going to make many of these, you'll want to do that so it's repeatable. Okay, after we have them cut, now we paint the inside white. It's because I want the snow and the light to reflect as much as we can. I hand paint all of these. You might elect to mask it off and spray paint it. It's your choice. Okay, we're ready to glue this up, and what I've done, I've put masking tape on the corners here so that we can fold it up. And what I'll do is I'll put glue in this joint and I'll put glue in this joint, and we'll pull it up, and then we'll pull this one up. We will glue up this joint
and this joint.
Now I can put a band clamp on it and really pull it tight. Then we check it for square. 14 1/4, and we're square. Okay, our glue has set up. Now we will just take this top piece off. We will apply glue. guess you could have done this all at one time, but I just like to make sure everything fits nice and tight before I really finalize the glue up. It's just a personal preference. It is faster if you just glue it all up at one time. Okay, we've got glue. This is end grain, so you really need to be liberal with your glue here. And we just put it right back in on it. I've already put a coat of wood conditioner on it because this is pine, and you don't, when staining pine, it'll blotch real bad if you don't condition it. Just put it on real liberal, let it set a minute or two, then I'll come back and take off the excess. Now that we have it stained, it's just a couple of coats of outside finish. One of the first things we want to do is in this corner right here, we're going to drill a hole, a 1/4 inch hole through the third layer and the second layer, and that's going to let us run just a few inches of the LED into here so that it'll brighten up both the second layer and the third layer. So let us thread the LED. Okay, you'll want to unroll your set of LED fairy lights. Got them all unrolled. Makes it easier to feed. And we'll go ahead and turn them on. Okay, you can see that I drilled a hole here and I drilled a hole here, and I went through the second layer as well. So that hole goes through this back layer and the second layer, but not the first layer. That's going to let me do is run this light through all the way through to the first layer. Then I'm going to loop it back around. That way I get light into all levels. And it can be a little challenging to feed this. I've run the LED through this hole and then through that hole. Came in across the bottom between the first and the second layer, then went back through that hole in that corner, ran it in between the second and the third layer, and then I came back out this hole. Now from here I'll just super glue it to this back one, that way it'll light up the back when I put it on. I've got my hot glue gun, and we just put some hot glue there and let it and fasten it. Okay, what we're going to do is route this just back and forth and back and forth. And I'm also going to put one light right behind the star. Right, we've got it anchored. Now we can just wrap it back and forth. You can see I'm about to put my last bit of hot glue on, but once I came back through this hole, you just roll it around so that you get light all over, and you can tuck it up under itself. That helps hold it down. I'm going to put one last shot of hot glue right there to hold that joint down. The next order of business is to cut a back. I think it's 9 1/8 by 9 1/8, and then we'll paint the back as well. Okay, we've got the back cut. See it's notched out right here, so our wires come out, and then the battery pack will sit right here, and we'll build a little container for that. But before that, we need to paint the inside navy to imitate the midnight sky. And next we need to fix the back to the unit, and I just do that with these 3/4 by, I think they're number 8 wood screws, and I just do this on 3 sides. We've got a big rabbet right there, so I'll just come in here with a Oh, by the way, this is the oldest cordless screwdriver ever made, and I bet you guys have one in your shop. Now we need to construct a little holder for the battery box, and I usually position it low and as much to the center. First off, I'll trace out the outline. And I just cut yourself some trim. This is 3/4 inch thick. I cut this, it's 7/8 by about 5/16 or 1/4 or something like that. But what we want to do, first off, I'm not going to show this, but I'm going to cut 2 pieces this length. That'll be for the top and the bottom. And we make one this direction. Okay, I'm just going to super glue this together real quick. That is a quick and easy way to support your battery compartment. Now they can turn it off and on from back here, and they can easily take it out and change the batteries.
There's our finished product. You can see with the lights being run in between layers 1 and 2 and 2 and 3, and then in the back it really lights it up. Here's some of the other designs that I have. Thanks for staying to the end. We appreciate it. And these make great little gifts. My family, everybody in my family has one, and people at church want them. They're real popular little seasonal items. So I hope you have as much fun making them as I do. And until next time, you guys be safe. Thanks.